Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music, and we're going to talk about how you can play a song called Hang On Sloopy by the McCoys. And it starts out with this cool little bass line for our intro chorus, where we play third on the low E string. And we do that twice, and then we go to third on the A string, and then open D, and then we go back to third on the A, and then an open A. So we're kind of playing a G, G, C, C, D, D, C, A through that chorus part. And you can back that up with some chords by starting on a G major chord. When we play G major, first finger goes on the A string on the 2nd fret, second finger on the low E string 3rd fret, and third finger on the high E string 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord, and it sounds really happy. Now you may also want to think about putting the third finger on the B string 3rd fret, pinky on the high E string 3rd fret, and working that for your G major. And then from the G we'll be going to a C major chord. We're going to play C major. First finger goes to the B on the 1st fret, second finger on the D string 2nd fret, third finger on the A string 3rd fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds a C major chord, and it sounds really happy. Now on C chords in general, it can be kind of cool to lift off the first finger and make that a C major 7, or you can take the pinky and add it in on the B string 3rd, make it a C major 9. Or another way to play C major 9 is to do first finger on the D string 2nd, second finger on the A string 3rd, third finger on the B string 3rd, and the pinky on the high E string 3rd. You can kind of work that for your C major. And then from the C we'll be going to a D major chord. D major. First finger goes to the G on the 2nd fret, second finger on the high E 2nd fret, and third finger on the B string 3rd fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds a D major chord, and it sounds really happy. Now you may also want to think about lifting off the second finger while you're on D chords in general and making that a D sus2, or you can take the pinky and add it on the high E 3rd and make that a D suspended chord. So it can be kind of cool to say stuff while you're on D chords. And then from the D we go back to our C chord, and for that last little A hit, you could really just stay on a C chord, or you could go to an A minor chord, and we play A minor. It's just like the C chord, but now you're going to put the third finger on the G string 2nd fret, and if you strum all those together, that sounds like an A minor chord. Now you may also want to think, especially if you're digging on that C major 9 voicing, using an A7 sus, where you do first finger on the D string 2nd, second finger on the G string 2nd, third on the B string 3rd, and the pinky on the high E string 3rd for that hit. So you could kind of work that G, C, D, C, A, G, C, D, C, A. But a lot of times with a song like this, to make it more interesting, I like using something called a strum pattern. Now you could kind of work this as kind of a 4 down idea on most of the chords, and then kind of do the C and the A minor with kind of a 2 down idea if you want to kind of follow that line. C, A, G, C, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, A, 2, G, C, D, C, A. But one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So we took the G and just tried that a lot. You'd have down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Now those chords don't last very long, so you can kind of work just the down, down of that strum pattern through all those chords until you get to the C, A, and you want to work it down on that. G, C, down, D, down, C, A, G, down, C, down, D, down, C, A. Or you could kind of half the strum pattern and have it be a G, down, C on the up, down, D on the down, down, C on the up, A, G, down, C on the up, down, D, down, C on the up, A, G, C, D, C, A minor, G, C, D, C, A minor, kind of round it out that way. Or another possibility is to use some things called power chords if you want this to sound really heavy. And you can use a G5 power chord for the G chord, where you do first finger on the low E 3rd, third finger on the A string on the 5th fret. If you strum just those 2 notes together, that sounds a G5 power chord. This can be cool to kind of try and follow that bass line that way. And then you could kind of use a C5 for the C chord and kind of have first finger on the A string 3rd, third finger on the D string 5th, and then go from there to over 2 frets to the 5th fret and 7th fret for a D5 power chord, and then go back to your C5, and then you could do an A5 power chord for the A hit, where you do first finger on the low E 5th, third finger on the A string 7. So if you wanted to sound this really rocky, you could have kind of that G, G, C, C, D, D, C, A, G, G, C, C, D, D, C, A, G, G, C, intro chorus, then we'll be going into our main verse part, where it sounds more like we do just the G to the C chord, and then the D to the C chord, and kind of leave out that A hit. So you could kind of work that with the down, down, up on each chord. G, down, up, C, down, up, B, down, up, C, down, up, G, down, up, C, down, up, B, down, up, C. Now, if you're digging on kind of half of the pattern, you can work it that way. G, down, down, C, up, down, up, B, down, C, up, down, up, G, down, C, up, down, up, B, down, C, up, down, up, G, down, C, up, down, up, D, down, C. Or you can follow that power chord line. Kind of use that for the verse. And then from there, then we'll be going into our chorus, which is just like our intro. Now, one other thing I think about adding to the song, though, is bass notes. And a lot of times on that first down, of the down, down, up, you can throw in a bass note for the chord. So on the G, you'd have Lowy for the bass. On the C, you'd have the A for the bass. And on the D, you'd have the D for the bass. And on the A minor, if we had enough time, we'd have the A string for the bass. So we tried adding basses to our chorus. You could work that with the down, down, up, and have the G with the bass. Down, up, C, down, up, D, down, up, C, A, G, C, D, C, A, G, C, D, C, A. Or if you're digging on that halving idea, you can kind of throw the basses with that. G, C, D, C, A, G, C, D, C, A, G. Our verse part. So we tried that with basses. You could have that G, C, D, C, G, C, D, C. Or you can use the basses and still have the pattern if you're kind of digging on that. G, C, D, C, G, C, D, C. And then that last time through, you'll kind of hear where there's this big push on the D chord. D5. I'm going to make that really heavy to lead into our next chorus. Then we're back to our G, C, D, C, A, G, C, C, A, G. So it can be kind of cool to kind of take these ideas and kind of mix them up too and kind of find a way that works for you. And then from that chorus, we end up on a solo that's that same progression, actually, kind of extended chorus part. And then from that solo, then we kind of go back into kind of our main verse part, kind of that G, C, D, C, G, C. It's kind of like a bridge part for that bridge. We end up doing that 4 times, and you kind of hear where the bass player starts going back to the main bass line for the chorus. So you can kind of sneak that A chord in there at some point. Doing that 4 times and then another 3 times before we kind of hit our G, C, and then you kind of hear this big build up on D chords. We're going to have another D to go into our outro chorus. And then we got our G, C, D, C, A, G, C, D, C, A, G, C. We end up doing that 8 times. Kind of our chorus part before we hit our outro, and then we kind of have 2 hits on a G, and then C, and then D, and then 3 on a C to lead into a G at the very, very end. But that's the basics of how you can strum through Hang On Sloopy by the McCoys. So good luck!